Hi everyone, it's Carol here from Tapping Into Sleep, and today we're going to do some tapping for the frustration that shows up when we're trying to fall asleep or when we're laying in bed trying to sleep and sleep won't come. And so before we do that, head over to my website, read my disclaimer. I will put the link in the description below. And at the same time, grab your free guide, Journey to Better Sleep, 5 action steps to improve the quality of your sleep. It's a beginner guide to show you what you need to start doing so that you can start sleeping better. And once you've done that, come back here and we'll do some tapping. Let's set this up. I chose to do a video on the frustration of not sleeping because when people join my private Facebook group, I asked the question, what are the 3 words that describes your relationship with your sleep right now? And the word that shows up the most is frustration. So people are either frustrated because they can't fall asleep. They're frustrated because it seems the world is sleeping around them, but their body has lost the ability to fall asleep. That's what it felt like for me, like that my body lost the ability to fall asleep or stay asleep or get any kind of sleep. And so I want you to tune into that frustration and be specific with what's the reason for your frustration when it comes with your sleep. So that's the first step is if you don't have your journal with you, maybe grab a pen and paper so you can jot down numbers as we go. But I just want you to think of the frustration right now. So when you think about your sleep and you say, I feel frustrated with my sleep, I feel frustrated with my sleep because, what's that because for you? And for the sake of this video, I'll say frustrated with my sleep because my body's lost the ability to fall asleep. But you put your own reason in there. Once you figured that out, I want you to rate the frustration that you're feeling right now for that reason from 0 to a 10. Yeah, I feel frustrated because my body lost the ability to fall asleep. I would say that's a 5 for me right now is the number that pops into my head. So without overthinking, sometimes we just use that number. All right. And then do you feel it somewhere in your body? Because we know that sometimes it shows up somewhere in our body. For some people, it doesn't show up anywhere. For other people, it might show up as a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. For some reason, for me, that's showing up right now in the back of my head, like kind of both sides of the back of my ear. I don't know. There's just a feeling that that's where it's there. There's not really a pain or anything with it. It's just a feeling that that's where that frustration is being held in my body. All right, so I'm frustrated because of what? I have my rating and I have where it is in my body. So you can use my word and do borrowing benefits, or you can actually use your own words as we go through this tapping round, okay? So even though I feel all this frustration in the back of my head, because when I think of my sleep, it's so frustrating that my body has lost the ability to fall asleep on its own. Right here, right now, I'm okay. And even though when I remember how hard it was for me to fall asleep, I feel this frustration in the back of my head because my body had lost the ability to fall asleep. Right here, right now, I am safe. And even though I feel this frustration in the back of my head because my body had lost the ability to fall asleep on its own, there's just no way you could sleep. I deeply and completely accept who I am. All right, top of the head, feeling this frustration. Eyebrow, feeling this frustration in the back of my head. Side of the eye, feeling this frustration under the eye, because no matter what I do, I just can't fall asleep. Under the nose, feeling all this frustration. Chin point, feeling all this frustration in the back of my head. Collarbone, because no matter what I do, my body just won't go to sleep. Under the arm, and I feel a rant coming on for me, so you use my words or you use your words, right? It's so annoying that my body can't fall asleep on its own. so frustrated. Why is it that everybody around me can sleep, but I can't sleep? Feeling all this frustration in the back of my head. Feeling all this frustration in the back of my head. Because why is it that other people can sleep, but I can't sleep? It doesn't seem fair. All this frustration in the back of my head. Tune into that feeling in your body that's showing up, and really tune into it as you tap. All this frustration in the back of my head. Because my body's lost the ability to fall asleep on its own. Because I can't seem to get sleep right. All this frustration in the back of my head. What's coming up for me right now is now there's an anger that is showing up. So we know when we tap, we can shift emotion. So it's normal. So even though we started with frustration, the anger that is showing up for me right now is showing up strong. So tune in to your body right now and check your frustration 0 to a 10. Are you still feeling frustrated? If it is, continue tapping using the word frustration, but I'm going to switch right now and I'm going to go with anger because that is what is showing up for me. And the anger is towards my body right now because, like, why won't you go to sleep? It's almost like WTF is what I'm saying in my head, but I won't say it here. Because if our bodies are biologically wired for sleep, why is it not sleeping? So right now the anger is showing up quite strong, and I'm feeling it like just on my shoulders here, the back of my neck, top shoulders. So even though the emotion has now shifted to anger, feel that on top of my shoulders. I feel like my body is betraying me in some way. I deeply and completely accept who I am. And even though I feel this anger on the top of my shoulders right now, so angry at my body, why won't it sleep on its own? Why can I not fall asleep? Right here, right now, I'm okay. And even though feeling all this anger towards my body right now, because I just want to sleep. In this moment, I'm okay. All this anger, there was an energy release. All this anger in my shoulder blades. All this anger, because all I want to do is sleep. I'm angry at my body right now that it won't. Angry at my mind that it won't shut off. All this anger in my body. All this anger towards my body because it lost the ability to fall asleep. All right, let's go back to the side of the hand. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? So this is important when you're tapping, even on your own, going through these emotions, to check in with yourself to see if it's shifted, if you're being specific enough, because when your emotions aren't shifting or they're not reducing, sometimes we're just not being specific enough. And the more specific we can be with, I'm angry because my body lost the ability to sleep, but then you can make it more specific by that specific night that I needed to wake up early for a meeting and my body didn't want to go to sleep. All right. So now let's do a round and try to put in some positive. And if you're not ready for the positive, if you still have anger, you can pause, keep tapping, and then come back for the positive. All right. Even though my body doesn't want to go to sleep, I acknowledge that maybe I've got some stress right now. And by holding on to this frustration and this anger, I'm keeping my body and my mind awake. So I wonder if it's possible to release this frustration and this anger, and to softly allow my body to sleep when it needs to. Knowing that the more stress I reduce, the easier it is for my body to fall asleep. And I wonder if it's possible to be gentle with my body, to be gentle with my mind, and to acknowledge that it's doing the best they can. And as I reduce the stress in my life, and I use tapping more often, and I acknowledge what is going on, that it's most likely the anger and frustration that is keeping me awake, as it totally activates my mind and body. So no wonder my body and mind can't go to sleep. And what if, by choosing to take 5 minutes each day, recognizing that I can use tapping or journaling, I can reduce this extra stress that I carry. All right. Keep tapping. Let's do another round. So I feel a bit of compassion coming on for myself. Compassion for when I was struggling with sleep so bad that I didn't know how to get out of it. So there's kind of this compassion, sadness coming up right now. And I'm just going to do a round on like, it's okay. Right? It's okay. I did the best I could. And I still do the best I could every day. I know that if I give my body the correct environment, by reducing my stress, by looking at my emotional well-being, by changing my habits, that sleep will come. That last sentence felt really good. I know that by making better choices, sleep will come. All right, hands on your heart. And so this was interesting because I didn't think I felt frustration or anger towards my sleep anymore, but it's always good when we start tapping. We're just removing layer by layer. And obviously there was still some anger at my body for those years that I didn't sleep. But I have compassion for my body as well, because I was doing really bad sleep hygiene, really bad behaviors that caused a lot of my lack of sleep. And my thoughts were that there was no way out of it. So now that I know better, I can do better. And that's what I hope for you as well. So as you learn the tapping, as you learn what are the factors that are getting in the way of your sleep, I'm hoping that then you'll start sleeping better. And so even though we know what we need to do to get better sleep, sometimes it's hard to get there on our own. And for this reason, I have a 20-minute free chat. I call it my optimal sleep assessment, where we'll connect on Zoom. You can just reach out to me. We'll connect on Zoom. And when we do, we'll talk about what is the reason you're not sleeping, and maybe give you one tip that you can start implementing in your life today so that you can start getting your sleep back on track. Because when we sleep, life is just beautiful. So click the link in the comments, book your optimal sleep assessment with me. Let's see if we can't get you on your journey to better sleep. That's it for today. Looking forward to any comments on this. Did this video help you? What else would you like to see from me? And I'm here to serve and help you sleep better.